me some ice. Skin me a peach and save the fuzz for my pillow. Bolt me a proms, talk to me nice. You got to wine me and dine me. I'm getting hungry. Peel me a grape.
I'm Laura Bonicelli, owner of Solo by Bonicelli, a fresh meal delivery service serving the Twin Cities area. My menus always feature fresh, local, and seasonal ingredients, and my favorite place to start shopping, the Minneapolis Farmers Market. Hi Terry, how are you doing?
How are you doing, Laura?
I'm doing great, thank you. I am buying some raspberries, and I want to know, why local? Why buy local? I can get them year-round, right?
Yes, you can. There's such a difference in taste between local and the berries you'll get shipped in from California and Mexico and other parts of the world. Most growers at these farmers markets, including this Minneapolis farmers market, grow organically. There are no pesticides on these berries, no fungicides, no insecticides, or no synthetic fertilizers. And like I said, the big thing is there's such a difference in taste.
So you say that most of them grow organically. Are they all certified organic, or is that necessary?
No, a lot of them aren't certified organic, and we aren't either.
It's expensive, right?
It's expensive, and there's a lot of hoops to go through to do this. We grow ours, I say, chemically free. It's organic. It's just we don't have the paperwork. We don't have the certification.
So the most important thing is to know who's growing and how they're doing it.
Very definitely. And here at the farmers markets, you can actually meet with the growers, and you can get a handle on where your food is coming from.
So I can smell these berries. They smell fantastic. So
they're fresh. They're picked yesterday afternoon.
Really? Okay. And your family is involved in this?
We basically, we're a family farm. We're small. We've got about 5 family members that work with us, and we do all our own harvesting.
And the farm is in Eden Prairie.
It's in Eden Prairie. I do have a couple other farms that we have to have because we can't afford too much land in Eden Prairie nowadays, but we grow all these raspberries in Eden Prairie.
Wonderful. Okay, and you've been here at the market for how many years?
Well, I first personally appeared in 1954, so I've been here a long time.
So you were what, 4?
I was 6.
No! That's great.
But anyway, my family has been here since the market opened in 1937. My grandfather had a stall here, and he was selling raspberries the year this market opened.
Oh my goodness.
So we've been regulars. We've endured the storm.
Okay. Well, what I'm doing today is I'm making a raspberry galette. Do you know what a galette is?
I know what it is. I'm not a cook. But,
it's kind of a rustic pie. And I'm going to need, I would say, 3 of these. Oh, one more last question. What kind of berries are these?
The variety is Boyne. It's a berry that was developed in Canada.
Say the name again?
It's called Boyne, B-O-Y-N-E.
Okay.
Developed up at the Morton Research Station. It's a big research station in Canada. They came up with a lot of good berries. This berry's been around since the 1960s. Still good.
Okay. It looks like a very firm berry.
It is a very firm berry for a local berry. Again, no raspberry has a lot of shelf life. You want to get them home and get them in your refrigerator, and you can keep them for about a week.
Okay, so should I rinse them and then put them in the fridge, or should I rinse them right before I use them?
There's no need to rinse at all with our berries because there's no pesticides. They're trellised. There's no dirt, no sand. So you're better off if you don't have to rinse them.
Okay, they're trellised. Can I come and see your farm?
You can. That would be an interesting educational experience for you.
I think it would be. Okay, so I need, well, I'm going to eat half of these anyway, so while I'm cooking. So I'll take 4.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you can just put them in your...
I'm back from the farmer's market with my gorgeous berries, and we are going to start working on our beautiful galette. A galette is a classic French pastry that's stuffed. It can be either sweet or savory, and it's made with a pate brisee dough, which also can be sweet or savory. So I have a 1.5 cups of berries. You could use strawberries if we wanted to. Sometimes I make this with apples, a little cinnamon, 3 tablespoons of sugar, The dough is a little sweet too, so not too much sugar. And a tablespoon of cornstarch. The cornstarch is going to work with those juices and get it nice and thick when we bake it. Okay, we're going to mix this up and set it aside, and then we're going to work on our dough. This is such a simple dough to make, and I'm going to start with 1.25 cups of flour and a pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and I have some chilled butter. That's very important. It has to be cold, cut into pieces, and I'm just going to put all of that right into my food processor. Okay, then we're going to pulse this in the food processor until it gets this kind of mealiness to it. Small pea-sized pieces of butter. You don't want it completely blended. Let me take a look here. Yes, that looks absolutely perfect. Then I'm going to let this run. And I'm going to pour in 1 large egg that's mixed with 1 tablespoon of cold water. And this will form my dough. And you want to just let this go until the dough starts to form. You don't want to overwork this. And that is it. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to form it into a ball, which it almost is anyway, and I'm going to chill it for an hour. And it's important to chill it for an hour so it's easy to work with, but don't let it go for longer than that because then it will get rock hard and impossible to work with. So I'm going to wrap this in saran and throw it in the fridge. I'm just taking my chilled dough and flattening it out, getting it ready to roll, and I am going to flour my board, spread that around, and then just roll this into a nice round. Now, I do not care about what the edges look like. I actually want them to be a little bit rough. It's going to make our tart look really rustic and pretty. You can take that and flip it just to get a little flour on that surface as well. I want this to be about a little bit thinner than 1/4 inch thick. And that is about perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to lift the dough onto a parchment covered baking sheet. And kind of just flip it in half like this, make it a little easier to carry over there. Flip it over. Perfect. Came apart just a little bit. I'm just pushing that back together. Little tears. Great. And you can see the edges are rough. I'm totally fine with that. And then we just take our berry mixture and spoon it in the center. And the berries gave off quite a bit of liquid, and I'm not going to put a lot of that in. I'm going to sort of strain it out. Aren't those just gorgeous? Such a beautiful bright red. So, kind of like making a pie, but actually simpler. And then, one last scoop here in the center. I'm just going to take these edges and fold them right up over the berries, like so. A little tear there. No problem, like that. Okay, then I've got an egg here that I've beaten with a teaspoon of water, and I'm going to take that and just brush it, and this will give it a nice glazed look, like that. And we want it to be a bit uneven. Again, it adds to that rustic look. And then I have some decorating sugar, and I'm going to just sprinkle that all over it, and that'll give it a little sparkle and some sweetness. I'll even put some on the berries. Okay, this is going to go into a 400-degree oven, and I'm going to let it bake for 30 minutes. If it starts to brown, I'll cover it with some aluminum, brown too much, I'll cover it with aluminum foil loosely, not tightly, just to keep the heat off of it. But it should be a nice golden brown when it's done. Into the oven. I can't even describe how heavenly this smells between the raspberries cooking and the pastry. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to use 2 spatulas to lift this over onto my platter. going from each side, carefully trying not to break the pastry. I'm just lifting it right over to my platter carefully. You can see it broke a little bit when it was baking, but you know, I think it just adds to our rustic look. There we go. Isn't that just gorgeous? If you want this recipe and more, go to solobybonicelli.com and click on the recipe blog button. I really hope you enjoy making my raspberry galette. Thank you, Minneapolis Farmers Market, Terry Pica, and Park Boutique for the wonderful wardrobe. Buon appetito!